Okay, are you ready? Right, we continue our lecture by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Very good morning, everyone. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Hopefully always happy and healthy. Alhamdulillah, la haula wala quwata illa billah. Allahumma sholli wa sallim wa barik ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Thank you very much for your participation. And hopefully always our meeting meaningful and useful and beneficial for us to share and to add our knowledge, to improve our spirit in studying Islamic studies. And inshallah, we continue our presentation about the topic from Talita Group. And inshallah, the moderator from Comting. So the time is yours, Comting, to manage the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Wirul, for letting me to be the moderator for this Zoom meeting. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable person, my lecturer, Pak Wirul, and all my beloved friend. First of all, let us thank to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing, we are able to come here to join in this Islamic religion Zoom meeting. Secondly, salat and salam also delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us very well. So the presentation today is going to be presented by Group 7, and let me introduce myself. My name is Nadila Roshelinda Nurdin, and I come from Industrial System Engineering as the moderator of this Zoom meeting, who will lead today's presentation discussion. Now, I will read one by one the agenda today, that are first, opening and introduction, second, presentation time, third, question and answer session, fourth, lecture conclusion, fifth, closing. And let's start our next agenda, which is presentation time. I will give the time to Group 7 for presenting the material.
Okay, everyone. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. My name is Talita Rahmahbari. I will presentation the first metric and our presentation. Our presentation is about Islam faces the challenge of modernization, Islam and science and technology. Next. First of all, we must know what is Islam meaning. And theologically, Islam is a value system and sacred or transcendent doctrine. And sociologically, Islam is a civilized phenomenon and a social reality of mankind. Next. And what is value? Value is next. A value is what is useful to humans, can be used as a reference for behavior. Life paradigm, abstract, ideal, and not a constraint object, but a fact, not only a question of right and wrong that requires empirical evidence, but also an expected and undesired appreciation. They are simple. And what sort of value consists of two ways. First of all is Quran. The position of the Quran as a source of our life can be seen from the content of Al-Baqarah, verse 2. And the second is as-sunnah, hadis Rasulullah. And for the next metri, will akan dibawakan oleh Salsa Uliani.
So for the next is modernity or modern. Modernity or modern is closely related to the context of space-time, the modernization process. Objective, new, current, up-to-date, subjective. And then the next is, what is the characteristic of modern life? The characteristic of modern life is first, rational, second is scientific, the third is openness, the fourth is similarity, and the fifth is human rights. The example of the characteristic of modern life is the colonization of Europeans. European colonialism was not only carried out with machine guns, but also carried out by values, ideology, and culture. There is a friction between the new values brought by colonial countries and the original culture of Muslim countries. The next slide will present by Jundi Abdillah.
The next is, what are the challenges of modernity? The challenge of modernity as an update modern Islamic tradition change in Islamic society. The change that occurred in modern times is next. The change that occurred in modern time is social change and values of life brought about by modernization, westernization, and secularization. Pop culture that displays the tradition of free sex, indulge in genitals, and offers a hedonistic lifestyle contributes greatly to the erosion of the religious values of Muslims. The awareness of Muslims to stem the negative impacts of Western culture is still quite high. Next. Islamic values in modernity. First, the enactment of Islamic values in the modern era. Islamic universalism, scripturalism, participatoris democracy, spiritual egalitarianism, rational systematization of social life. Next. Nature and Islamic values. First, Robbaniyah sourced from God and maintain its authenticity. Insaniyah according to nature and for the benefit of humans. Third, Wastiyah moderate taking the middle path. Wakiyah contextual, tolerance and harmony between change and provision.
Islam and Muslims. Islam face change depending on or Muslim, the role of Muslims. According to Muhammad Abdu, Al-Islamu mahjubun bil muslimin, Muslim response to change back to Al-Quran and Hadith, purification, ijtihad, ulama, or renewable or modernism. Implementation value. Implementation of value can be described as istijad or tajdid. The meaning is important evidence of appreciation for human ability, aspect of muamalah, social interaction. Islam provides basic guidelines that must be transferred into the context of time and space that enlightens it. Islam harmony or the changing times. When that religion cannot define itself against the time. As a result, religion will lose its meaning. On the contrary, if there are fixed internal and unchanging aspect of religion, then religion will lose its authenticity as regard to human regulation on one hand and flexibility on the other. With this attitude, Islam can still exist in a changing time without losing authenticity as a sacred religion. The modernity of the Islamic world and all its positive and negative influence have become a challenge that Muslims must face in its deterioration. Muslims are required to redouble their efforts to develop their full potential to solve problems. The Tajdid movement, which continue to uphold the teaching of Islam, is an option that Muslims must make the most of. That is from us, from our group. Is there any question?
Okay, good presentations. And continue, please. Something to open dialogue.
Okay, thank you for all of the presenter from Group 7. Well, now we are welcome to the question and answer session. The participant who want to ask or give opinion, please use the raise hand feature or using the Zoom chat. And don't forget to mention your name and your group. Thank you.
From Nadine, maybe. Or Venita. Altaf. Any problem, Nadila? And this one from Afif Muhammad Zarir Fadadina.
So there is a question from Afif Muhammad Jari Fartadina in the Zoom chat. The question is there any law of people who read Quran on their phone? Thank you. So please for group 7. So please for group 7, write down the question and ask if you already prepared.
Yes, Nadine, back to position. I think good for the presenter to answer first. Beside waiting the question from other groups. Like that maybe, Nadila.
So actually I have a question for group 7. So the question is, in this modern era, there are so many obstacles for Islam, like to go to haram things. And what is your opinion? What is the hardest part of being Islam in this modern era, in your opinion, please? Thank you. So there is Yasar Rizky Maulana who is raising his hand. So please for Yasar, if you have any question.
My name is Yazarasi Maulana from Group 4. I have a question about the awareness of Muslims to stem the negative impacts of Western culture is still quite high. Why it is categorized as still high? Can you explain it? Thank you.
So for the next person, there is Marhan Aryoseto. Please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Marhan Araseto. I'm from Group 8, and I would like to ask a question. You did mention about modernity and in Islam. Can you please tell me what the good and bad impacts of modernism have towards us as a Muslim in this modern world? Thank you.
Thank you for Marhain, and please, for the other people who want to ask or give opinion, use the Zoom chat or the raise hand feature, or if the presentation group want to answer first.
Okay, I will answer the Afif's question. Afif said, is there any law to read Al-Quran by phone? One of the ulama said, referring to Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verses 118:5 in Quran Surat Al-Baqarah verses 118:5, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, which is contains of the specific days are the month of Ramadan, the month in which the Quran was revealed, the beginning of as a guide for humans and explanation regarding to that guidance and differentiation between the right and the false. For Muslim, reading the Quran is a necessary and is a necessity and an obligation. So, for example, if in Ramadan there are several Hotam targets, the ulama thinks that is a good thing. Do the busy time for work and then taking time in between activity. Reading the Quran through the Point Mobile application is legal and based on the surah. We can read the Quran by any source, especially in a mobile phone. Thank you.
There is Ijhar Fidin, who is raising his hand. So please, Ijhar Fidin, if you have a question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Izar Fidin Irni with NRP 500720142 from Group 1. So my question is, In this modern era, we have so much social media applications such as Instagram or even TikToks. So, based on what I know, women are not allowed to send their picture somewhere so that a public can see it, as that is thought as a sin. So, what are your thoughts on this social media application which most of the women use to show their face or even dancing to the public? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ijad. And please, for the other group who haven't asked question, the time is yours. There is Akil Mumtaj first before Altaf, and please for Akil to ask the question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Abdul Mumtaz from Group 6. In this modern era, some people think that religion is not very important for us, so it's not always to be related to religion in this modern era. And some of them are also left the religion because they think religion is something that backwards from the modern life or scientific things. Uh, as next Muslim generation, what should we do and how to face the challenge of the modernizing in this modern era? Thank you.
Thank you for Akil. And if the other group who haven't asked the question, please give your question or your.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Altaf Ahmadi. I'm from Group 2. Maybe my question a little bit similar with Akil question. Based on your presentation, says that Islam faces the challenges in the modern era with the role of Muslim. Maybe my question is, what kind or what the characteristic must be prepared for we as a Muslim to face the challenge. Thank you.
There is a question in the chat room from Bramasta Aji from Group 5. I have a question. Is if you want to become modern Islam, you have to understand the technology that is developing in the current era. So please, for Group 7, answer the question from Bramasta Aji. So please, for the other group who haven't asked question, please give your question. And for group 7, please answer the question that I already asked. So there is a question from Maulana Ahmad Ihsanda in the Zoom chat from group 2. What is the benefit of this modernization for Islam, and what we can do to develop Islam by taking advantage of modernization, and what we can do to develop Islam by taking advantage of modernization? Thank you for Maulana Ahmad Ihsanda. And for group 7, please answer the question. So everyone, Pak Hoirul is already sent a link for you to read the research that related to the material of this presentation. So if you have the time, you can read the link that is already sent by Pak Hoirul in the Zoom chat. Thank you.
Okay. I will answer the Nadila question. Nadila said, what is the hardest things for Islam in modern era? For example, so many example for hard things for Islam in modern era consists of not maintaining the morals as a Muslim in modern era, a vast territory of power. The population is very heterogeneous, so that is experience of obstacles and unification. The rulers are weak in their leadership, economic crisis, uncontrolled moral decadence, apathy, and stagnation in the world of science and technology, and conflict between Islam kingdoms, and so on. Thank you.
So thank you for Talita. And please, for the other presenter who want to answer or give the opinion, thank you. please, for other participant from the other group who hasn't asked the question. The time is yours.
I will answer the Marhen question about good and bad impact in Islam in this modern world. The good impact is first motivate the creativity of students towards the development of science and technology itself, where Islamic values become the source of reference and educating the skills of utilizing science and technology product for the welfare of mankind in general and Muslim in particular. Third, creating a strong relationship between religious teachings and science and technology and a close relationship with scientists who hold the authority of science and technology in their respective fields. Fourth, instill good attitudes and insight into the future life of mankind through the ability in interpret religious interpret religious teaching from their pure and contextual search with the future of human life. And the bad impact is like free sex, get drunk, and offer a hedonistic lifestyle. That's it. Thank you.
So there is a question from Raihan Auliadava from Group 3. How do we should place ourselves as Muslim in this modern era because it is a difficult situation while Islam is always opposed, especially by the Western countries. Thank you for Raihan, and please for the presenter to answer the question that already given. Thank you.
I want to answer Aji's question. If you want to become modern Islam, you have to understand the technology that is developing in the current era. Yes, because over time, a lot of information can develop, and by knowing technology, we can get various kinds of information. For example, reading Al-Quran from a mobile application, knowing the surah, and much more, which must be accompanied by a good review of the information. Thank you.
Hello Nadila. Maybe from other audience, no problem. I think if they want to share the ideas, maybe the different opinions from the answer from the speaker.
Okay, so please for the participants who have different opinions through the presenter answer for the question, please use the Zoom fitting, the Zoom chat, and the raise hand feature. Thank you.
I will answer the Maulana's question. The benefit for we as a Muslim are easier to read Al-Quran, easier to study Islam, because we can search any information about Islam in internet, and easier to join pengajian or kultum or Islamic webinar, and of course we really easy to listen a ceramah via online. Thank you.
So please, for the other participant who want to ask question or give opinion, there is Venita Dea Ananda from Group 4. Then the question is, what do you think about chip implant in Islam perspective? As you know, chip implant is form of technological advancement. Thank you. Okay. So please, for Group 7 to answer the question. Thank you. So there is a question from Camila Fauzia Aini from Group 4. As we know, there is a technology called Baitabung. How is it in the Islamic perspective about it? And what is your opinion about it? Thank you. So please, the presenter, answer the question from the participant. Thank you.
I want to answer Camila question. As we know, there's a technology called bayi tabung. How is it in the Islamic perspective about it, and what is your opinion about it? MUI is in its fatwa. It states that IVF with sperm and ovum from a husband and wife partner is legally permissible. This is because this includes efforts based on religious principles. However, the scholars forbid the use of IVF technology in husband and wife who are deposited in the womb of another woman. That is, the law is haram, said MUI in its fatwa. What is the chapter? The clerics of the family, later on, it will create a complicated problem in interfering with inheritance. In their fatwa, the MUI scholars also decided that IVF from frozen sperm from a deceased husband is haram, because this will cause complicated problems, both in the consideration of the determination of lineage and in terms of inheritance.
Okay, I will answer the Izhar question. Izhar said about some people show her face and dancing in application like TikTok. I will answer. Some ulama state that things that do not give birth to benefit at least positive, it controls makruh by the Sharia. Moreover, if things are done, they tend to have immoral values which are forbidden by religious value, as ulama said. Based on the verses of the Al-Quran, Allah has forbidden things that show his genitals to those who are not his mahram, and return to yourself and bear the sins that you get if you don't stay away from the prohibition of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Dan itu kembali kepada diri masing-masing, bahwa siapapun yang melanggar aturan dari Allah akan mendapatkan balasannya di akhirat. Terima kasih.
So please, for group 7, the presenter, to answer the question because you cannot see the time. It's already 8 a.m. And for the question, I think it's already enough. It's already too much. So please, for the presenter to answer the question, or the participant who want to give your opinion, please raise your hand or use the Zoom chat. Thank you.
Finish, Nadila?
Yes. So there is the answer from Aksata Dimar Firzatullah. The answer of out of question, for a Muslim, we need to have a strong character, because if we have a strong character, we are not easily fall into a sinful thing. Thank you for Aksata. And Can I ask a question for the presenter? How many questions left that haven't been answered?
This Yasar question, Vanita, and Alto's question.
The out of question is already answered by Akset.
Oh yeah, but, already. I mean Yasar and Vanita. Okay.
Okay, because the time is already 8 past 10 minutes. Pak Hoirul, do you want to give the conclusion in here, and the group 7 will give the answer later in the group, in the WhatsApp group, or we will continue with the presentation of the group 7, Pak?
Okay. Finish, Nadila?
I would like to ask Pak, because there is two questions which haven't been answered, but the time is already 8 past 10. Do you want to give the conclusion first, and the group will answer the question at the WhatsApp group, or we will continue with the presentation and then your conclusion, Pak?
Yes, please continue first.
Okay, then please for group 7, answer the 2 left question.
Okay, I will answer the Yasar question. Wait a minute. Yasar said the question of the awareness of Muslim STEM, the negative impact of Western culture is still high. Why? because often many Muslims are still influenced by the crocodile culture or Western culture, which is haram and contrary to the Islam religion, such as a free sex and so on. And many consider it to be a trend, even though it is haram to do as a Muslim. Thank you.
I want to answer Venita question. There is no direct prohibition of the use of implant technology within the Holy Quran. Therefore, in my personal opinion, it is not haram unless it just like any other technology is used for an unholy purpose. The purpose of using anything clearly not regulated should be the deciding factor of whether it is allowable or forbidden. Thank you.
Okay, so for group 7, the presentation is already done, right? The question is already answered.
Sorry, Nadila. Just one question left. I forgot about Rehan question, and we already prepared the question. The answer.
Okay, you can continue then.
Aksata will answer the question, but she have a bad connection, and I will mewakilkan Aksata untuk menjawab about Rehan question. Rehan said, how do we should place ourselves as a Muslim in this modern era? Because it is a difficult situation while Islam is always opposite, especially by the Western countries. Aksata said that Wait a minute. Sometimes Muslim always have a racist act in Western country, and how to deal it when the people in Western country act racist. We only need to be a Muslim according to the surah listed and do according to Allah rules and pray the best for them and let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repay his deeds in the hereafter. That's the Aksata answer. Thank you.
So the presentation is already done. The question is already answered. So please for Pak Hoirul to give the conclusion for this presentation.
Okay, thank you, all speakers. And thank you, Nadila, as moderator, and also everyone as audience in participating our meeting. Alhamdulillah, this meeting, we talk about the challenges globally and locally for Islamic society, for Muslim society. Of course, we always facing challenges in our life from time to time, from era to era. In this context, I want to show you the new books on digital society, digital sociology. This is part of maybe new challenges for us. Maybe in facing or maybe we also contributing in the digital era. But before I want to show the books, I also want to show the newest book from Pak Khairul. Yes, this one part of my book about the tantangan global dan lokal Islam di Indonesia. Yeah. I already sent you in the chat, yeah, about this link. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, this link reached by all people for about 700 from the first until now. Yes, this one I think need to read for you as Islamic studies student to know more about the global and local challenges of Islam in Indonesia or Indonesian Islam. And part of this book, you can also download about the contents, but not full. Maybe sometime you can order or maybe to read more and full the text. In this context, Pak Khairul explore what the global and local challenges for Muslim society in Indonesia. And this time I also want to show you about the new book on the digital sociology. This is part of important books, yeah, to know more about the challenges globally for Muslim society, for us also. In this context, I think interesting for us in the chapter 1, yeah, the book, the content of the book, yeah, tell us about the life, yeah. Life is digital, yeah. Now, I think campus is digital, maybe school is digital, society is digital, from maybe wake up to sleep again, always related to digital. So that's, I think, yeah, in one hand, maybe on the one hand, yeah, maybe digital is challenges, but in other hand, maybe on the other hand, yeah, digital is opportunity for us. So that's why we are necessary, or maybe we need to discuss this topic about what are the challenges. In this context, digital is part of challenges, but also, atau is not digital is not only challenges but also opportunities for us. So that in this context, we need to know more about what the characteristic of digital, or maybe what are our contribution in this era of digital. All presenter, I think, good present about all challenges and also inform us about how to solve all challenges. Nah, insya Allah, ya, in Islam, ya, we also to back to Al-Quran and Hadith. Insya Allah, we always to try to be part of solution and to be part of problem solver in facing challenges and contributing based on our expert in solving or maybe in facing all challenges and all opportunities. In the digital era, maybe we can understand about how the people always to show their expert, maybe their usefulness in this context. Of course, yeah, many santri, many students of Islam in Indonesia also need to take a part of this opportunity and to give a solution about all challenges, maybe the negative impact of or the negative effect, yeah, from digital era, or maybe from all challenges. And also Pak Khairul share the article about the religious radicalism, global terrorism, and other maybe Islamic challenges in contemporary Indonesia. In this context, of course, from our characters, how to applicate or implement it of Islamic value is related to usefulness, beneficial, peacefulness, or maybe beautifulness. In the context of poverty, maybe this is part of a local challenges in the context of Muslim society in everywhere and anytime. In this context, of course, as Muslim, we need to give solution or maybe need to think against or rethinking about the all challenges from era to era. We can learn from the history. Maybe you know that the problem of now or next may be part of the circulation problem from time to time. So that's, of course, we need also learn from the history. In the context of Indonesian problems, maybe we can also study from history of independence. To make unity in diversity, this is part of solution for making togetherness is always maybe track on the track. So that's why in this context of togetherness, this is part of maybe habluminanas. About habluminallah, maybe we also try to think again what the challenges about the habluminallah. In the digital era, maybe we can review or maybe evaluate the develop or maybe the progress of digitalization. That is relevant, compatible, or not, maybe. Like maybe the digitalization of Quran. In the maybe on the one hand is good, but in the other hand, I think we need always to evaluate. Is that maybe true or not? In writing, maybe in translating, and something like that. But I think we need to innovate our life through digitalization. Like in the context of pandemic corona, our teaching, our learning also use like Zoom or maybe other device to support our success in learning and teaching. Yes, I think we are always maybe always have many challenges, but I think behind the challenges there is opportunities. So that's as Muslim generation, I think, how to make challenges become opportunities is part of solution for us to make ourselves always motivate, or maybe always best motivation. In this context, maybe we can, yes, like Muhammad Ishar, maybe statement that how to analyze or maybe our position when we compare maybe how the contribution of Muslim scholar than Western scholar or maybe non-Muslim scholar in the context of digitalization, in the context of maybe globalization and modernizations. Maybe you can show or maybe explore how the, or maybe who a scholar from Muslim in the context of globalizations, are they exist or not, or maybe what their contribution is good or not. In this context, of course, we always try to make innovation based on our expert. In the context of solving or maybe facing all challenges based on Al-Quran, based on Islam, we are necessity to have, or maybe we are ready to competition. We are ready to compete between one to another, between one people to other people, between one country to another country. We are, as Muslim, have to ready competition, ya. Jadi kita harus siap berkompetisi dalam konteks menghadapi tantangan. And based on Al-Quran, ya, as Muslim, we need to make, or maybe we need to make sure ourselves always ready to work together or ta'awun. Competition in Al-Quran related to fastabiqul khairat. We are always ready to fastabiqul khairat in the context of competition in facing challenges based on Al-Quran. In the perspective of Islam, when we facing challenges, we are always ready to compete, or we are always not problem in the competition era. We are always ready. But also not enough. The competition is not enough. But also we are always ready to synergy or collaboration or working together. Synergy and collaboration is part of solution in facing all challenges, in getting or in gaining or in achieving our successfulness, our usefulness, or our goodness in the day or the next. Like in Al-Quran, yeah, the teaching of synergy or collaboration related to ta'awun. Wa ta'awanu 'alal birri wa taqwa. Wa la ta'awanu 'alal ismi wal 'udwan. This ayah or this verse is part of Islamic teaching. This is part of message from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala as guidance for us to success in our life, in facing challenges. To be good Muslim is challenges for us as person or maybe as a group or as community. To make sakinah mawaddah wa rahmah. This is part of goodness in the context of family. In making process of sakinah mawaddah wa rahmah in our family, I think also many challenges and many opportunities. Globally and locally. From day to day, I think we realize that our lives always facing challenges. But how our response, how our mindset, I think it's very important for us to make always ready. Readiness, I think related to their education, their information. So that's why Pak Khairul always remind you all that's the key of success of the people in the world always related to their well prepared, their well informed. Their well informed related to their well prepared, and their well prepared related to their success. In this context, of course, we can analyze and compare maybe one people or maybe one country, why they are success, I think related to their well informed, their well prepared, and their well success, or their well done. Like your presentation, one person and other person in the groups, I think related to their information, their preparation, and their success, their presentation. In this context, I think the best question for us, how our information well or not about the dunia and akhirat. If we want to get success in dunia and akhirat, inshallah, globally and locally, jadi not only globally and locally maybe challenges, but also related to akhirat challenges. This is, I think, important if we want to success mendunia and success mengakhirat. So the issue not only about the dunia, but also about the akhirat challenges. Like jin, setan, iblis is part of challenges, I think, negatively, yeah, negatively. Or maybe this part of threatened also. Yes, in talking about challenges related to positiveness, then threatness. Dibanding hambatan ya, dibanding hambatan, tantangan itu lebih positif memang. In this context, of course, how we are a winner in facing challenges, insya Allah, based on Al-Quran, from Islamic teaching, we are remind by Al-Quran, by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, how to always synergy, how we are always collaboration, collaborate one to another, and also we are ready to competition, like fasting, sunnah, also doing all obligation about related to Allah and related to human being, related to our professional duties, like in campus as a student, our success related to our readiness, our readiness related to our well information. So that we always to find about the information is so important for us. Learning is part of finding the best information, so we can make a best planning, best preparation in our successness, our life, insyaAllah dunia and akhirat. This is, I think, enough from Pak Khairul conclusion. Hopefully always usefulness and beneficial for Pak Khairul and you all and your family. Inshallah, we always try to do the best for our life in facing challenges. And also, inshallah, we always praying part of solution for facing challenges. We are always try to engage to ini Allah communication Jadi kita coba melibatkan Allah untuk apa, menghadapi masalah-masalah, menghadapi tantangan-tantangan. Insya Allah kalau Allah meridhoi, maka urusan semua gampang. So that's why we always need to pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, to make Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala willing to all our challenges, maybe our problem, and our praying, insyaAllah See you next meeting, insyaAllah. Before closing our meeting, please pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to make our meeting, to make our life always Allah give us goodness, usefulness, and successness. Kafaratul majlis alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, asyhadu alla ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.